Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are in the world. For my audience in the US, it's good evening. For those of us in the UK or any other part of the world, in Europe, it's supposed to be evening time, and I believe it's the same in Africa, especially West Africa, Nigeria. Today is a very special day. Welcome to Broken Not Shattered. This is a very special edition for me personally. Today is a very special day. May 7th happens to be my birthday. Yay! Yeah, it's my birthday. And so I woke up this morning and I was thinking, okay, what's the best way to approach this issue? And actually, it was last night that I started thinking, what's the best way to approach today's session? I had somebody in mind I wanted to bring in, and they were ready to go, but I thought I wanted to make it a little special because it's my birthday. So what I've started to do this day is to bring my people who are very close to me, people who have known me for a long, long time. Now, I know I'm going to get in trouble because when the rest of the family watch it, they're going to say, "Oh, why didn't I call them?" Or why were they not on the list? So I've selected four members of my immediate family who I think know me quite well and will have a lot of crap to say. But you know what? That's fine. The good thing is that we're here bonding and we're going to share. The Broken Not Shattered is about empowering, uplifting, encouraging, and supporting people all over the world. It's amazing how far my podcast has gone. I never knew when I started that it was going to go this far. I was in Florida all weekend and at a very special conference for leaders, international leaders, held by Bishop T.D. Jakes, where my pastor actually spoke. Oh my God, Pastor Paul, wherever you are, God bless you, sir. You blew the house away. It was such a remarkable outpouring and ministry that you gave on Friday night. But I thought on my way back, as I caught that flight to be here and spend my birthday at home, thanking God for this wonderful, wonderful opportunity He has given me and all the years He has kept me through my ups and downs. These folks who I'm about to bring in, I'm already getting emotional. Not today, Ike, not today. These folks I'm bringing in are people who are very dear to me, and they've been almost like a pillar. Two of them are not on this platform because I couldn't get them to connect on time. But here we go. From all of them are younger than me, so forget about the age. But I'm going to bring in my younger sister, who I think has been a spiritual corner for me. In the sense, her and my big sister have played that role. I don't know why, very significantly, but they have been so much of my spiritual support. But my younger sister is also my friend, and we fight a lot. So, from London, England, ladies and gentlemen, my younger sister, Ellie. Hey, Ellie, what's up, girlfriend? Hey,
Hi, how are you? Happy
how you
birthday.
doing, girl?
Good, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's my birthday, and I wanted you to be one of my guests that I'm bringing in today.
Thanks for
Uh,
letting me know as well.
yeah, that's okay. This is where you say happy birthday to your brother, but that's fine. We'll take a.
Well, you said I'm your friend and also your sister, and we're close and we fight a lot, but unfortunately, I haven't got my boxing gloves today because today's your birthday. So let's keep that on the side for today.
Okay, all right. So, Ellie, what does family mean to you?
Family means different things for different people. And I know, family, and also has to do with the culture and the environment as well. So, for example, if we just use a very simple description of what family is, looking at the dictionary, it's more about a group of people, parents and children. That's what family is. But then what does family mean for me is what makes a difference. It is someone who has a bond with me. It's a part of whom I would call family. It could be biological, it could be non-biological. For example, you said I'm your spiritual friend and sister. Yes, there are people in church and other places and other areas of faith. They would say family
Right.
is someone they've got a relationship, a bond, and a closeness with.
Wow. Wow. Okay. That's good. There you go. That's my younger sister Ellie from London. Now I'm gonna bring you one more person. This is my cousin. She's my Igbo. Like she's my girl. Like she knows everything. Like she knows all my cuckoo, all my gist. Because I can trust that if they put a gun to her head, she will not talk. Some other ones might spill the beans and they say, "Oh, sorry, forgive me." But this one, ride and die. So I'm going to bring in from the United States my darling Chizo. Hey, Chizo, what's up, girlfriend?
Hey.
How you
Okay,
doing?
I better behave myself.
Yes, you better be. Which is very hard for you to do.
I better behave myself because anytime we get together, it's going down. It's
Yep.
fun, fun, fun. No seriousness. It's all fun.
I
But
must I must say
yeah.
something. Right, with this, there's one show that I had years ago, and for some reason I couldn't get my system to work. And you and Ellie were supposed to be my guest, and then I left the show off for you guys to handle. I don't know if you've ever checked the ratings on that show. My God, unbelievable! You guys just took it away and blow. But today my mic is working, everything is working, so I gotta focus. I don't want you guys to go off and start saying crazy stuff like the last one. But we're free, just be yourselves and here. Chizo, you are my first cousin. I love you so dearly. Um, Thanks for everything you've done in my uh, period of time. I remember I used to be the one actually protecting you when we were younger. Like we always, when Chizo was always reading with her thick glasses. Ellie, remember Chizo always reading. Doesn't want to nothing. So we always had to get Chizo to say, "Hey," they said, no, 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 Chizo, forget Chizo, man. Go with Kichi, who was Chizo's younger sister, and we're gonna have Kichi also come out at some point. But they said, "Go with Kichi." I said, "No, no, no, man. We're not going with Kichi. Kichi's a kid. Bring Chizo. Chizo is the one." And they were like, I said, "You know what? I'm the one organizing this party. If Chizo is not here, we're not having it." And then Chizo rock the party.
He dropped some Milton Boons.
I'm telling you, Chief Rocker.
Dancing, yeah.
Chief Rocker. So Chizo, we're talking about family matters today in this show. I want to ask you, what is in your own experience? How do people overcome family challenges? You see a lot. It's amazing, right? We're very cool. We're almost the same age. I wish Dr. I could have made it here because I wanted to bring him on, but he had a function to attend that he couldn't do it. So we're very close as a family, cousins, right? Very, very close. But I see families that don't even get along. Like immediate siblings don't get along. How do people overcome family challenges?
Okay, so before I answer that question, first of all, let me say big, big, hearty, happy birthday to
Thank
my
you.
boy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
happy birthday, sweetheart. You are my favorite male cousin. Yes, I'm letting it out there. I know my other male cousins may get mad, but we've always known that you're
Sure,
my
sure,
guy.
sure.
You're my person. Unbreakable bond.
Thank you.
Um, why finding why the question is some
Overcoming.
some overcoming challenges and everything. First of all, to me, family means love, unconditional love. When you love somebody unconditionally, you will forgive whatever they do to you because that love overshadows all else, right? We always ask God to forgive us, right?
Yeah.
And he forgives us regardless of what we do because he loves us unconditionally. So that kind of love should be shared amongst anyone you call your family. You should love them regardless of what they do to you. When you love someone unconditionally, you can overcome whatever they, regardless of how bad it is or
Mm.
how serious it is. If that love is there, you can overcome it.
Wow.
You
Wow.
can overcome it. The reason why there's a lot of dysfunction in a lot of families is because there is that deep love was not cultivated from the foundation of the family.
That is
There
very
was
good. It was
there
not.
must have been it was not cultivated. Either the mother or the father sowing seeds of discord, playing the kids against one another. It happens. That deep love was not cultivated. Why are we together? We're together because our mothers love each other deeply.
Right.
They can fight, but they'll still the next day they're still talking.
Yeah.
You know they have disagreements, but they still come together and still love one another and still support one another through any challenges they have 100%.
Well,
Even if they were fighting the day before, if
mm.
one of them has a challenge, you see them coming in
Running around.
and
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 yeah,
and supporting, rallying
I've
around.
seen that
and
growing
and,
up. Yeah.
and that's what we saw growing up,
That's
and that's what we know. And that is why we're older now, but we still have that thing, that foundation that we grew up in is what we are displaying now in our relationship with each other.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
it's about deep, unconditional love, not a love that's based on what you give me, what you do for me,
Oh.
or no, it's unconditional regardless.
Awesome. That's a very good response. Ellie, what do you have to say to that?
I think Jesus covered it all, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
The foundation of any relationship, whether it's a family or not, is love.
Right.
That's the
And I
building.
believe that. Okay, so let's talk about love. So okay, I'm gonna bring in one more member of the family. Hey, Trouble, today is gonna be a great day. Got this wild bunch all together at the same time. But that's what family is all about. So we all agreed before we started they're gonna come in according to who's older than each other, because it was a bit of a chaos who comes first and who comes last. So the next person basically is my own younger brother. Younger in the sense that he's the last one of my immediate family. Is I think how in the family everybody's close, but somebody's closer, right? When it comes to the voice, I think this is my bro. Put him under my wings at a very young age. Now he's he's trying to put me under his wings, but his wings are still small, so I'm still the one who's riding, and he's the one who's dying. So bringing all the way from London, Ken Webby, my younger brother, Kevin, my core support, fashion designer. I salute you, sir. What's up, big bro?
Hey, my pathfinder, Zozo. Happy birthday, bro! Happy birthday! Hey, I raised my Red Bull for you, man.
I don't drink Red Bull. It's too high for me.
I'm saying my Red Bull, not your Red Bull. Happy birthday! Happy birthday, bro!
Thank you, man. How you doing, my man?
I'm good. I've been on the balls today, man. I've just had a swell time celebrating you.
Thank you.
My social media handle today went berserk. I mean, everybody was like, "Man, wish your brother a happy birthday. Your brother is so cute. Who is this guy?" I said, "Hey, don't touch." Now, Bashiga.
Dowda the sexy guy. He can Dowda the sexy guy.
Let's not go there now.
Dowda the sexy guy.
There's so many names, but let's leave it for now.
I'm no more Randy Mola.
No. Those days are way gone.
Oh my God.
They knew you, man. They knew you.
Thank you, guys.
Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday.
Thank you, my man. Thank you.
So
Ellie opened up the place by saying to us that for her, what family is and the importance and the essence of family. She gave a very powerful insight and brought in the whole family issue. Shiza has just given us the core, right? What holds family together to overcome all kinds of challenges, right? And she said it was unconditional love. For you, what does that mean, unconditional love?
I guess unconditional love is love where it's non-judgmental.
Right.
A love that is forgiving.
I believe so.
At any point in time. Let's take us for example. As a family, those of you that are married, your spouses are kind of always thinking, shit, how do you guys do this? Because 1 minute the house is on fire, and on fire because everybody's got a strong personality, right? Even me, that is the youngest. Oh my God, when I start, but at the end of the day, we're all laughing and joking and eating from the same bowl, and it's forgiving. It's just simply forgiving and love that, you can't, it's not something that you can learn overnight. Again, and I'm sure, maybe my sisters must have said something about this as well, but it is something that, we learned from a young age.
That's what
from when we were kids, right. We've seen our mothers, and that's why as cousins, we're so close as cousins. We love each other. My problem is everybody in this forum's problem. Their problem is my problem. When they're crying, I'm crying. When they're celebrating, I'm celebrating. And that is what for me, that is what family means. Right. There's also family that you can get from outside,
Right.
somebody who's got your back,
Right.
somebody who's there for you in thick and in thin. They may not be your blood sibling or relative, but they're more than a family as well. They're there for you, come what may.
Okay, hold that thought. Hold that thought. We have 30 minutes, right? And I wanted to get this in the bottom line. So let me bring in the youngest of the crew, right? And you said someone who's always there in thick and thin. For me, this person has always been there in thick and thin. All of a sudden now I find myself, I'm now the one there for her in thick and thin, which is not easy being there for this Ishaki in thick and thin. But you know what? That's our girl, right? We all love her. She's the core of the family. She's the one that goes out for everybody. I want to bring in the one and the only enter. Wait, she there you go. What's up, Kay? What's up, Kay?
Happy birthday to you, brother. Oh my goodness. Looking too good. Huh? How far now? How far?
We did.
How would you be?
Not in this arena. There's some younger people that might want to know. It's my old man. Baba, forget him. See.
Don't worry. Move on.
Keep it quiet.
Hey,
now.
Exactly. Ellie, tell her. Okay, Kiki, you're welcome. I have a question for you.
Don't worry, offline.
Okay, offline.
Okay.
All right. So Kim had just spoken, and Chiza has spoken. You in the background. It's back in the studio. You heard everybody talk. Ellie set up the pace by creating what family is all about. Right. So I promised you guys that the first 15 minutes of us is just us answering this. I want to talk about values. What do you think is the best kind of values that should be set in a family structure? And where does it come from? Pastor.
English major. International Common State. Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I know she's going for it. She's just trying to.
Yes, she's trying to use the word. Yes.
Pardon me, man.
We're not prepped for this.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's the word that has been ringing in my head.
Wow.
And I've been waiting on someone to say that. But I'm going to say this. I don't know if you can see that as a value but this whole thing about family, the second name is sacrifice.
Wow.
Why do I say sacrifice?
Exactly.
We've talked about love. What is love all about? It also encompasses sacrifice. Remember when God sent Jesus to die for us, right? Wow. He sent him based on love, and that he had to sacrifice Jesus for us. So family is about sacrifice through thick and thin. So what value should we bring in, or what value are we looking for in a relationship, in a family? We should look for that sacrificial heart.
Wow.
That attitude, that, hey, I know it's tough. I know you're not of best behavior. Like I keep telling all my cousins, like one particular person I want to break his head in this country is the birthday boy. But because he's older than I am, I can't do that.
We'll punish you.
I can't do that. But but I'm like, you know what? I have to make a difference in his life despite what he throws at me. So I believe that that's what we should,
sacrificial love. Okay, so everyone hold their thoughts. I told you this is going to be 30 minutes. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to all come back, and then we're now going to have our last round. Okay, let's come back. Broken, not shattered. This is me and my family. No, not my kids this time. It's my people that we're cracking up and talking about family values, overcoming family challenges, and everything else that comes along with it. We'll be back in a few minutes. Broken, not shattered. I have my family here with me today. It's been an and a very interesting time. Everyone sharing their challenges and experiences. And this is the second part of the show. It was our last 10 minutes, and we're just going to be ourselves. So we're about to go in live. Everybody, hold your thoughts, hold your horses, and here we come back in. Hey, okay. Chizo, you're muted. Just want to let you
Yes.
know.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I was conversing with my married ho. I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. That's very
What is
important.
marry huh?
That's what
What
family
is
is all
marry
about.
huh? It's not in the dictionary.
My
Can
marry
you
huh?
explain what marry huh is?
That's our
Now,
husband.
you was
We,
understand because
we know what it is. Don't worry. It doesn't have to be in the dictionary. Everybody has a pet name for their own. You call your own sugar. No, sweet, right? She calls her own Mary, huh? Yeah.
Annie, what do you call yours?
Jenny, one mama.
Oh,
Oh God, Jay.
Oh my God. Okay, guys. This is our last leg as we go out. Right. So
Okay.
all right, so we talked about unconditional love. This is the part I want to bring up. With love, everybody has good intentions. Everybody wants to make sacrifices. Everybody feels that we're overcoming those challenges. How about boundaries? Are there supposed to be boundaries in family? Anyone? It's open to the floor.
It depends. There need to be boundaries in family. In every relationship, you need to have boundaries. Definitely.
Why?
If you have boundaries with your children, then I'm not going to be funny here, but let's say, for example, you don't have boundaries with your children. They can do what's not non-biblical. I'm not going to go down to the detail, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So there's boundaries is really important. And then in the relationship, you need boundaries. I remember one of my uncles, may God bless his soul, Uncle Obunna. One thing he said is about love, and I'm just going to reflect on this. He says, love the person with respect. Respect that person with love.
Wow.
I can't forget that.
Wow.
So that's my definition.
Say that again. Say that again, please.
Love the person with respect.
Mm-hmm.
Respect that person with love.
Wow, that's a very
That is something that's so deep.
that's a wise man talking. Yeah.
So that is the boundary. Because people have relationships and they don't know the boundaries. There needs to be respect with love, and you need to love with respect and respect with love. And that's what boundaries.
Wow. Wonderful. That's great. Anybody else has anything to say about that? Boundaries?
Yeah, I want to second Ellie because as soon as you asked that question, what came to my mind was respect.
Wow.
Because I think with respect, there are lines that you cannot cross. Because you respect that person as you see them as a human being. So there are lines that you can, regardless of how close the relationship or how friendly or how open the relationship is, once there's respect, there are boundaries you cannot cross, even in your marriages. Even in your marriages, there are boundaries. No matter how close and tight-knit you are with your husband, there are boundaries that you cannot cross, because when you begin to cross them, it borders on disrespect. And when you cross those boundaries, that's when that relationship begins to break down and disintegrate.
Wow.
So, like Ellie said, I think respect is that's it. That's it.
Oh.
Respect.
All right. Kiki.
okay. So what just came to my mind is, a scenario with my son, and I'm wondering if he's mean respecting his space, or the boy just being naughty or being rude or disrespectful. So I walk into his room. His room is really nasty, and I'm like, hey, blah blah blah, clean up your room and everything. And I'm like, I really don't like it when I come into your room and it's this messy. And he said to me, he said, then don't come into my room.
Wow.
So, so that is his space, really, because we're talking about boundaries and all. So that's his own space, right? So am I crossing the line? Have I crossed the boundary?
Can I jump in on that then?
Actually, let me say something to that. Really, I yes and no. So this is it. His room, right, that you have assigned to him, right, is the space you've given to him. In our case, when we were growing up, it was two boys in one room. So I had the same room with Chimmy, my older brother, and Kem and Dozie had one room, right? The girls had separate rooms, if I'm not mistaken, right? Ellie had her own room, Oge had her own room, right? But for us, right, it's the room that has been assigned to us by the parent, which is you in this case, right? And what you're doing is you are training him to make sure that his environment and his space that you've assigned to him is well taken care of, right? So I think what you need to do is to make him understand the importance and the essence of why he should have a tidy room, hygiene, his own mental health, right? Because for me, if my house is chaotic, I can't focus. I don't know anybody else who has that same challenge, right? So that's on that side. Then secondly, yes, he has a point, because that's his room, right? I don't, in my house, the room where my daughters stay, I don't go into their room without knocking on my door. I go in and I knock on their door, say, can I come in? They say, yeah, come in. But you know that these girls will barge into my room without knocking, right? Sometimes I just overlook it, but sometimes I say, no, go back out, knock, and come in. Because when I come to your room, I respect your space to knock and come in. So he has a point. Don't come in if you find it messy. But for him, you must make him understand that this is his training time. If he continues like this, he will have a bigger problem. So I don't know. Anybody else chime in?
I think what you just said, Ike, is just what I was just about to say. My sons, I knock when I go into their room. So you need to knock and go into, even if it's 1 second, just for formality, because some of the things that we do as parents or guardians, sometimes you do it on purpose. You do it intentional. You're intentional about what you're doing because you're teaching without speaking.
Yeah, but this is not about knocking. This is not about going to. This is about me seeing the room messy. So we're trying to. I want a balance here. I'm trying to create a balance here.
You're not crossing boundaries.
Okay, I just want to be sure so that next time I can really sit him down and say,
but you have to make him. Hold on. One at a time. You have to make him understand the reason why.
Right.
You're asking him to tidy his room.
Right.
And also let him know that when he doesn't do it, there are consequences.
Right.
Let me say something.
Go ahead. I run a clinic company, so I know what to do with him. But I just wanted to be sure that there's a balance to boundaries.
The tidy room issue is a boy issue. Period. I have a boy. I got 2 girls. I don't have that problem with my girls. They get up in the morning, they fix their bed, start their day. There's something in getting up and fixing your bed.
I agree.
There's something in that.
Mm-hmm.
With my son would get up and move. Bed looking raggedy. So you know what? We had to incentivize him. We had to incentivize him last summer so that he can fix his bed when he gets up. There's a book that we gave him. A military guy wrote that book.
Yes, that's right. Yes, about making up your bed.
Make your bed.
Yeah.
Make your bed.
Yeah.
Make your bed.
And I need that book. Make
your bed.
Yeah, very powerful book.
Make your bed.
She said that
my husband gave him this book. Make your bed. Well, you know what we did last summer? Last summer we said, well, when you get up in the morning, if you make your bed, you're gonna get $5.
Wow.
$5 any day you make your bed. Let me tell you, that child wasn't playing with his money. That child would wake up.
It was an incentive. You're training him. Yeah.
The first thing I said, before you even come say good morning or hi mom, your bed, before you get out of your room, your bed needs to be made. That's the first thing he does. He gets up, he makes his bed, and he's like, my $5.
But the son on this platform who is different, and he hasn't said anything. That's why he's staring at us, because he's a tiny freak.
For me, it comes as a default. My environment, my personal environment, and my space means a lot to me. And I believe that if you're in a clean and tidy environment, it helps you function.
Yeah,
yes.
I agree.
It helps you,
absolutely.
And so yeah, so you're right in saying that. So I'm probably different, but I know it's a boys thing, but I think also it depends. It depends. My mom was hot on, come on, up in the morning, make your bed, do your clothes. That sort of stuff.
Right.
But I guess, everybody's different. Everybody's different. I think some of these things also, when you learn it in your life, it really helps you.
All right, cool. So I don't want us to overshoot it on time. I'm going to end with this. I'm going to ask everyone to tell their best childhood memory or their worst if they have one. And then we all end that.
You opened up a can of worms here.
That. Okay, guys. So this time around, if you bring in yours, boom, you're out of the show. Okay. So first person is going to be Kem.
Well,
Give us your best.
my own would have been, I wouldn't have been here today. This man, this lovely Nkem wouldn't have been here today. This man who celebrated his birthday got into my father's car when my parents went away somewhere. Went to a party in a different car. Ike was learning to drive. And I sat down outside in the garden, in the family garden, watching my brother, running this car around the whole compound. And the moment I stood and moved from there, and I think that was God actually.
God, it was God.
Immediately I stood up and walked away from this place, this very point. I accelerated. Where I was, there was this big tree there. I think it was a mango tree or something. That was where he crashed this car. The engine of the car. Not just
out.
the car broke. So that would have been me mashed up, maybe like that. That would have been the end of me.
Thank God it wasn't you.
Honestly speaking, it's amazing. It's amazing. That's the trauma that I created in your own life, because I remember that vividly well. And sometimes when I look back, I said, "Wow, God is really careful and very, very, very faithful to us." Because you are right. I was driving the car, everything was fine, showing off. And then I wanted to match the brakes, and then I accelerated the car. If you ever learned how to drive, that's the first big mistake you make, right? And this is stick. This is stick at that time. And the car just went straight into the tree, exactly where Nkem was sitting, and decided to get up seconds before I went into that tree. And that was just God. Guess what I did? I packed my bags and I took off.
He ran.
All right, Chizo, you're next. What's yours?
Ike on the run.
Yes, exactly. I took off.
That was where the name came from. Ike on the road.
Go ahead, Chizo.
Let's not go there. You've got a few minutes left.
I'm just gonna remind you of your favorite song.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Oh my God. That song never leaves my mouth.
And Chizo, do you know the other one? Some boys, they were you. They know they wear pants to Magama party. Sorry for those who don't understand Igbo,
but that song about Ndara Ochara, it was me and Nnamdi, your older brother.
Yes.
that was our code language. But that I, oh my God, man, guys, you are really getting me down to the cross this afternoon. Okay, all right, Kitchi, you go before I have Ellie bring her on.
Oh, childhood memory with you. Oh my goodness. Let's not even go there. Okay. But one that I remember is the first time I met you, the first time I saw you. You came out of my dad's back in the days. She said, what's the name of that black green car? Ford, right?
Ford.
Yeah, Ford.
That's the first time I saw you, and I was like, this
London
British boy with his ears. All I could see was his ears sticking out. And that's when that song, that choose just like Ndara Larochana. I think about him, I think about those ears. Oh my goodness. That was my first experience with you.
Oh my God. You guys are killing me this afternoon. Okay, Ellie, go ahead, do your thing.
Oh dear.
Hey, what's yours then?
I have a lot, but I'm going to keep it to one. One of the ones I remember, and I'll probably keep this one because it's decent. I don't want to keep the other ones. This is a recording, so yeah, we can do that offline. This one was when we went to the library. I went to the library, Ike, my elder brother, and we went to the library. So on our way back, we stopped at my elder brother's friend's house. So when we got there, with like 2 chairs, back in the days in Africa, not too many people didn't have too many things like that. So I had 2 chairs. So my other brother sat down, Chimmy sat down, and then there was 1 chair left. So Ike, obviously, now today, if you don't know, he's older than me. So he sat down and the guy goes, Ikedi, stand up for your elder sister. Big. Yeah, I was bigger than him. Now that he's bigger than me, yeah. So he was mad.
Yeah, I was pissed off.
Angry. As soon as he stood up, I didn't even ask, like, I didn't even try to explain to the guy, like, oh, this is not my, I'm older, he's older, that's too much.
You took the opportunity, right?
You want to sit, yeah? So I need to sit down. So I just sat down. I, chilled, and he just said, "So you sat down, and you know that I'm your other. Wait for me at home. Wait." I knew I was in trouble, but let's leave it for that.
so I remember that one very clearly. It was, I think, there was one room he kept Paul. I think we went to his house, and because growing up, I was on the small side. Really, I don't know how. All of a sudden, one day I just woke up and I was taller than everybody in the household. I was skinny, had big ears, a skinny guy. I wish I had some pictures to show you guys.
Really cute, very cute.
Very handsome, yes. Very handsome guy, but very good. So apparently now Ellie grew up big, like, bulky and had body and everything. So everybody thought Ellie was my older sister. So we go to the guy's house. He told me, my friend, get up from the seat and allow your older sisters to sit. And Ellie sat down. And I dealt with her when we got back home. But let me tell you my worst memory as a child was the day I got beaten up by Ellie and Dozier, the twins.
I don't want to say that.
Twins.
I don't want to say that. That was my first.
I used to beat them up, like always chancing them on one at a time. But these two ganged on me. They beat me up so badly. They took sand and shoved sand into my mouth. It was, and then they brought Vim. Oh, it was
powder.
Guys, we can go on and on. But I want to say something as I close. We can go on. I want to say thank you guys for being there for me. My journey of life has been very, very interesting. Very interesting. There's some things that have happened to me that I never, in my wildest dreams, ever thought they would happen. And they were not the best of experiences. I remember the first time it happened, at one point I thought I was going to check out, and I couldn't get my head around it. It was time for me to exit this planet. And I was driving on 495. And most of you never have heard this story. Some of you might have heard it. And I said, I'm going to take my car off the road and just end it. That was how low I had come. But something said to me, call Chimi, who is not here today. And I called my brother and I started telling him what I felt like doing. Tears coming down my eyes. I couldn't handle it. And Jimmy said to me, for what and for whom? I want you guys to always remember that. When you find yourself in a very low period, ask yourself that question. For what are you trying to take yourself out? And then for whom? In other words, if you were doing this to save your child that you love so dearly, I understand. But if you're doing this because of someone who doesn't care about you or hasn't shown you any respect, like Chizon and Kem said, right? Or can't express the unconditional love that we've all shared here today, then it's for whom? Remember that thought. I pulled myself back, parked my car, and from that day onwards, I got my mental state back. Amen. And that has helped me in all my decisions. For what and for whom? If you're listening to me today on this podcast, this is my family. You might not have a close family where you can have a good laugh like this. We're close. We're much close. If I brought everybody here, you'll be laughing all day. Trust me. If I bring the other bunch who are not here, oh my God, forget it. Right? But just in case you find yourself in a dark place, never, ever give up. Because the brightest side of your life is way, way, way ahead of you. Guys, thank you for all your support collectively, individually, in all my tough, especially when I was those trenches. I remember when I left home the first time, it was Chizo's house that I stayed. And the day that I went to go and settle the matter, it was my brother-in-law, UK, who's not on this platform, and said to me, let's go home and start and bring a resolve to the matter. That was family at support, right? I've had some dark times when Jerry will come in and just speak to me and say to me, and that's Ellie's husband, and say, listen, guy, you're not abandoned. Your family are here. I am a man. I'm talking to you as a man. My siblings will fight for me. We will fight for each other. KK will fight for me to the last. He will say, don't go down this path. This is a disastrous path. And sometimes, we just disobey. We do what we want to do. But family are always there for you. If I've offended any of you, I want to say sorry on this platform. And for all of you who have offended me, I ain't saying sorry. I'm gonna get you guys back. Thank you for being on this show. I love you. God bless you. And let me have a wonderful and great day. Love you guys. Take care. Thank you.
Family matters.
Thank you. That is my
Bye.
wonderful family all over the world. They've come to join us. KK, Cam, Chizo, Ellie from London, and it is a wrap. We went over today, but hey, guess what? It's my birthday. So thank you for this special edition for Broken Not Shattered. Hopefully, we'll see you guys next week. And by then, we'll have a very, very more detailed show. Thank you and stay blessed.